What if the fastest Formula One car ever created was not designed by engineers, but by artificial intelligence? Not a team of experts, not years of experience, but a system capable of simulating millions of designs in seconds, testing every possible aerodynamic configuration, every wing angle, every airflow pattern, until nothing else could be improved. No intuition, no tradition, no human limitation, just pure data, chasing pure speed. A car evolving faster than any team in history, learning from every lap, adapting in real time, becoming something no human could ever design. But what would that car actually look like? Would it still follow the rules of Formula One, or rewrite them completely? And if machines can build the perfect car, what happens to the humans behind it? This is where things get interesting. This is What If Lab, where we explore the future of sports, technology, and impossible scenarios. To understand how artificial intelligence could design the fastest Formula One car, we first need to understand how teams do it today. Right now, designing an F1 car is a combination of engineering, experience, and a lot of trial and error. Teams rely on wind tunnel testing, computational simulations, and thousands of hours of human decision-making. Engineers adjust wings, refine airflow, balance downforce and drag, trying to find performance gains that are often measured in thousandths of a second. But even the best teams in the world are limited. Limited by time, limited by budget, limited by human intuition. They can only test a small fraction of all possible designs. And that's where artificial intelligence changes everything. Instead of testing hundreds of ideas, an AI system could test millions. Every possible variation of a front wing, every angle of a rear diffuser, every airflow interaction across the entire car, all simulated at a speed no human team could ever match. And more importantly, it wouldn't guess. It wouldn't follow tradition. It would simply search for the fastest solution possible, no matter how unconventional it might be. And that raises a critical question. If AI is free from human limitations, could it discover a design that no engineer has ever imagined? If artificial intelligence were allowed to design the fastest Formula One car, it would probably not begin with the entire car at once. It would begin where performance matters most: aerodynamics. Because in Formula One, speed is not only about horsepower, it is about how air moves around the car, how cleanly it flows over the front wing, how efficiently it travels around the side pods, how much downforce it creates through the floor, and how little drag it leaves behind on the straights. That is where AI could become dangerous. A human engineer might test a few ideas, compare a few versions, and slowly improve the concept over time. But an AI system could attack the problem from every direction at once. It could generate thousands of front-wing concepts, thousands of floor geometries, thousands of side pod shapes, then simulate all of them, rank them instantly, discard the weak ones, and combine the strongest solutions into something entirely new. And it would not care if the final answer looked strange. In fact, the fastest design might look strange. It might look too narrow in one area, too aggressive in another, or unlike anything fans have ever seen on a Formula One grid. Because AI would not be trying to design a beautiful car. It would be trying to design the fastest one. That means every surface, every edge, every curve would exist for one reason only: performance. And once AI finds gains in one area, it would keep pushing. Again, and again, and again, until the car stops looking like a machine built by human instinct, and starts looking like a machine shaped only by pure speed. If artificial intelligence truly designed the fastest Formula One car, the result might not look like a Formula One car at all. Because modern F1 cars are shaped by what humans believe is correct, by tradition, by habit, by what engineers expect a fast car to look like. But AI does not care about any of that. It does not care if the design looks familiar, balanced, or even visually appealing. It only cares about performance. And when performance becomes the only objective, design begins to change. The car could look unfamiliar, unusual, even uncomfortable to the human eye, not because it is wrong, but because it was never designed to be understood, only to be fast. And that creates a new kind of problem, because for the first time, the fastest car on the grid might not be the one we recognize. It might not follow the visual language of Formula One. It might not look aggressive in the way we expect. It might not even look like it belongs on the same grid. But on track, it could outperform everything else. And once that happens, the definition of what a Formula One car should be changes forever. If one team successfully used artificial intelligence to design their car, it would not just gain an advantage, it would change the entire competitive landscape of Formula One. Because performance in F1 is not linear. A small gain can become a massive gap over a race distance. And AI would not deliver small gains. It would deliver breakthroughs. While traditional teams improve step by step, AI would leap forward, finding performance where others are not even looking, optimizing areas that humans might ignore, and combining solutions in ways no engineering team would normally attempt. The result? A car that is not just slightly faster, but consistently faster. Lap after lap, track after track, condition after condition. And that would create a dangerous imbalance, because once one team unlocks that level of performance, every other team is forced to respond, not by improving their current process, but by completely reinventing it. Suddenly, the competition is no longer just between drivers, or even between teams. It becomes a race between algorithms, a race between computing power, a race between data. And in that kind of race, the traditional limits of Formula One begin to disappear. Budgets become less about materials and more about processing capability. Engineers become less about intuition and more about guiding intelligent systems. And the question is no longer, who has the best car, but who has the smartest system behind it. But here's the part most people don't realize. This is not something from the future. It's already starting to happen. Right now, Formula One teams are already using artificial intelligence, not to fully design the car, but to assist in very specific areas, analyzing race strategy, optimizing tire usage, improving simulation models, finding patterns in data that humans would never see. And every year, those systems are getting better, faster, more accurate, more trusted. At first, AI was just a tool, something engineers used to confirm their ideas. But slowly, that relationship is changing, because the more data these systems process, the more they begin to suggest solutions, not just validate them. And once that happens, the balance shifts. The engineer is no longer the only source of ideas. The machine becomes part of the decision, and eventually, it becomes the driver of the decision. And that is the real turning point. Because once teams realize that AI can outperform human intuition, even in small areas, they will start trusting it more, giving it more control, more responsibility, and more influence over the car. Until one day, it is no longer assisting the design, it is leading it. And when that happens, the question is no longer what if, the question becomes, how far has this already gone? And if all of this still feels like science fiction, just look at what is already happening in Formula One today. The sport is changing, not slowly, but in ways that drivers can already feel inside the car. With the latest regulations, cars are becoming more complex to manage. Energy deployment is no longer just a background system. It is something drivers have to constantly control. When to push, when to harvest, when to defend, when to attack. And if you get it wrong, you don't just lose time. You get swallowed by the cars behind you. Some drivers have already compared it to playing a game, managing energy like power-ups, timing overtakes like a strategy loop, almost like a high-speed version of Mario Kart. And that tells you something important. The car is no longer just a machine you drive. It is a system you manage, a system that reacts, a system that requires constant decisions. And behind all of that, there is more data than ever before. More simulations, more predictive models, more automated suggestions. The driver is still in control, but the environment around them is becoming increasingly intelligent. And that raises a new question. If the cars already feel this complex today, what happens when AI is no longer just supporting the system, but actively shaping it? At what point does the driver stop being the center of the experience and become part of a much larger machine? So where does all of this lead? If artificial intelligence continues to evolve, and Formula One continues to push technology forward, the sport will eventually reach a new kind of balance, not between teams, not between drivers, but between humans and systems. Because at its core, Formula One has always been about the relationship between man and machine. The driver pushes the car responds, and somewhere in between, performance is created. But what happens when the machine starts making decisions of its own? When strategy is no longer called from the pit wall, but generated instantly by an intelligent system? When the car itself becomes something that is constantly adapting, learning, evolving, even during a race weekend? At that point, the role of the driver begins to change, not less important, but different. Less about raw control and more about interpretation, less about instinct and more about interaction. The fastest driver might not be the one who pushes the hardest, but the one who understands the system best, who knows when to trust it and when to override it. And that creates a new kind of competition. Not just physical, not just mental, but hybrid, part human, part machine. And maybe that has already started. Maybe the future of Formula One is not about replacing the driver, but redefining what it means to be one. So now the question is no longer just about performance, it's about design. If artificial intelligence could create the fastest Formula One car ever built, a car beyond human imagination, would you let it? Would you accept a machine designing every surface, every curve, every detail, if it meant gaining an advantage on track? Even if that car didn't look like a Formula One car anymore? Because maybe the fastest design is not the one we expect. Maybe it's not the one that looks right. Maybe it's something completely different. So, what matters more? Pure speed or the identity of the sport? If AI could design the perfect Formula One car, would you let it race? Or would you draw the line and keep the human touch in the design? Tell me what you think, because this might be closer than we imagine.